Hi, this is Vamsi Gali. Welcome to my space where I share my real life experiences and reflections from building and running multiple businesses since my early 20s. A lot of people ask me how I know what is the right place to invest, where the growth is happening. Rather than telling them this and that, I always tell them the way I handle things. In the beginning of this whole investment journey, which was about 15, 16 years ago, I've always wondered how people made their own decisions when it comes to like, where to invest, what's the right area, how did they know all this stuff? Because I didn't want to just go along the crowd. But over the time, I've understood that I have to be the one coming up with a criteria that works for me so I can make an informed decision. Because most of our portfolio, whether we are holding it personally or for the investment business purposes, both kind of are in a long-term growth phase. We are never doing anything under 4 years exits or anything. So it helped me to find the right places to look for the data that helps me to make informed decisions. So that brings me to my favorite place, that is the Federal Reserve Bank data. This is the most unbiased data. They publish it for each and every district. They have many districts. And where I am placed in, where I am located, DFW is where I focus a lot. And then, of course, the whole Texas too, because we have other portfolios in Austin area. This is where I go and tend to look at the data, like especially the data trends when it comes to the population move and the job growth, unemployment rate, and then the employers, that are moving to the area. I mean, this is what shapes the local economy, as per my opinion. I think anybody would agree with that. So that is the place where I go to find the real data, and that tells me what is happening on a bigger, on a bird's eye view in that particular metro. That gives me more idea to further expand it into which areas going to see more growth. And then another extension to this one is going to be I get into city and county data. Sometimes some cities grow because they're in the growth pattern, but the way I look into where to invest or do projects is strictly based on what's already there. What's the water availability? What's the population there? What kind of demographics are we dealing with? Or like when I say demographics, I'm more focused about the age of the population in that particular area and the household income and the education level. These three things are important for me. And when it comes to other aspects, the most important thing I also pay attention to is like the number of jobs. Are there any jobs available to that particular city or to that particular metro? That also is a crucial factor for me when it comes to making an investment choice or decision. And when it comes to rental properties, mostly a lot of times we also look at the school ratings. Very important for us. Anything above 7 is an excellent area for us to invest because it helps us to not to cycle through many tenants throughout the years, because in those places families tend to say if we are doing things right, they want to continue to stay in the same property for more than 2-3 years. So this is the way I usually handle when it comes to where to invest, what's the right direction to take, rather than simply following the crowd, because my goal is not to just have a magic happen once in a lifetime. My goal is to replicate this again and again and again. So I don't really care if one time wonder happened. If it happened, good for me, but I don't chase after one time wonders. I tend to go into a long term planning. So I need to have a solid baseline, and this is my baseline of how I start my research. And of course, I do way beyond it, but this is the baseline of it. I hope this somehow helps you in your own journey of how and where to invest rather than following the crowd. Thank you.